And now I am pleased to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to a young man who has excelled professionally and has leveraged that success to be an outstanding volunteer leader and mentor in many capacities. Presently, he is the Managing Director of Concert Wealth Management and My Harvest Field Insurance with offices in Houston, Tampa, and New York. He has served on the ALPFA in many positions. Currently, he is the president of ALPFA Houston, previously a founder of ALPFA student chapters in Miami and at Florida International University, plus being the youngest person to serve on the National Board of Directors. He completed successful internships at Rice University, Baylor College of Medicine, Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, and is halfway through earning a master's degree in healthcare administration. We proudly present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Zameer Upadhya.
All right. I'm holding you guys from the dance floor and the nightclub, so I should be quick. Probably not. No, I'll be all right. Well, good evening, and thank you so much for this honor. And it is an honor. The first time, Manny called me and he told me about this, I said, so is this your way of saying I'm out of ALPFA? Because I still believe I have another half-time to live. But I have been with ALPFA for over 15 years, and it is a great honor. I literally have grown up with ALPFA. I suppose the only way to begin a speech with the word lifetime in it is to thank the people that actually gave you life. So first and foremost, while I will not Tebow tonight, I obviously want to thank God. For a kid like me who grew up on the other side of Miami, the not so glamorous side of South Beach, to stand in front of you, it's nothing but for the grace of God. God blessed me with two wonderful parents. They have been my guiding light. The last time I stood up here with you, I shared with you a story about how when I was in 4th grade, I wasn't this big and I got beat up by a bully. And when I went home and I talked to my mom and said, hey, I got beat up, what should I do? She said, although she's not the fighting kind, she is the passionate kind, she said, you got to defend yourself. I said, all right. The next day I'm coming home from the school bus and I'm ready. I'm looking back. And many of you know this story, but I looked back and saw my mom holding a baseball bat, ready to take him down. Now, she is here tonight, but the baseball bat stayed at home, so you're safe. Mom, you were with me then. You've been with me through everything, and you're still there. Thank you, and I love you. This award is for you. Now, us mama's boys, which I obviously proudly am, we sometimes don't give our fathers the due respect that they deserve. My father encouraged me to be a professional, find a career, and grow into a successful executive. Yet he was an entrepreneur his entire life. And my fondest memories are of being with him every Saturday and learning how to treat your customers with undying attention, how to work hard from cleaning the bathroom to treating your employees with the best of respect, and to really give back. He was known in his area to take care of everybody around him. And my biggest honor, while I'm very grateful for this award and truly honored, is that next Sunday, he'll be receiving an outstanding commitment to community service in Houston from a large organization. They're sitting right there, so I'm gonna ask my mom, dad, and all my family to stand up really quickly, and I just really want them to be recognized. Louis, you too. All right. Life is a journey in which success is never found alone. I want to thank my Aunt Nergis and Uncle Shabir and my sister-in-law Mercy who flew into town, and for those family members that could not make it, and for those friends that have supported me throughout. As I mentioned, success is never found alone. I have found that mentors play a key role in defining success. I've been fortunate to have many over the years, but I would like to recognize one mentor who has been my mentor before I even knew what a mentor was, and that was my Uncle Bashir. He's been there every step of the way as a successful entrepreneur himself and helped guide me as I was a struggling entrepreneur to ultimately find true success. Thank you, Bashir. I am an only child, so this is perfect for me. I love this attention. That's what. But I've been blessed with some truly amazing friends, and there's many scattered here. But there's one in particular that is truly not my friend, but is my brother, and that is Dr. Luis Hernandez, and he's here as well. Luis and I grew up in similar neighborhoods, but our bonds as brothers kept us away from the trouble that was out there. Now, you know, in our culture, whenever we do something, if we have an event, we're bringing our cousin, cousin's 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 cousin. So when I founded the ALPFA chapter at FIU, we were short on members initially, and so I needed lots of members, and he was able to be a member. He was one of my first few members. He was with me there when I started my company. He was my first physician client, and he stands with me today. Luis, you're not just my friend, but you truly are mi hermano. So it's interesting. I've been walking around. I'm 34 years old, but I could have sold you the fountain of youth, because some people have said, Lifetime Achievement Award, you got to get that times two, in terms of age. But I've been involved with this organization for a very long time. I came to it over 12 to 14 years ago when I met Gennaro Perez at Florida International University, and Gennaro was hosting an event with Goldman Sachs, and Gennaro and I helped put this event on. And he was so passionate. I mean, you talk about the Alpha Kool-Aid, it was just oozing out of this guy. Back then he had hair, so he was even oozing out of his hair. On a quick note, the last time that I spoke up here, Gennaro won the Mercedes. So whoever's at my table, buy some tickets, because I brought some luck that night. But anyhow, Gennaro, Steve Mendez, and Hector Perez became amazing brothers, helped me grow through this organization, and Alpha has truly changed my life. I don't know how at all I could have been a successful business person without Alpha. I could spend the whole night thanking my Alpha family, but Manny would kill me. But I do need to recognize a few more. Gil Vasquez and all the founders, Javier and everybody that's here. Remember 41 years ago, it took a group, I think Gil told me tonight, there were 16 people at the first convention. It took their efforts to get us here. I want to thank them. I want to Yvonne Garcia is our fearless leader, the national board, our national staff, the corporate advisory board. I was 21 when I joined Alpha. I need to thank and recognize a couple of people that have really guided me. Carlos Perez, Jess Pinilla, Lou Miramontes, Kaplan Mowbray. And these next few that were really there as I built my company. Joe Mella, Raymond Arroyo, Joe Kosinski, Ed Morales, Eugene Campbell, Tommy Shee, and the last two, but definitely the best, my two dancing partners, Tony Riccardi and Francis Garcia. These senior executives took a young and naive college kid who was the first in his family to college and truthfully had no clue how to be a professional and how to make something of himself. And they stood with me through some of the toughest times. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Alpha FIU. My Alpha Miami chapter family for the support over the years, and to my Alpha Houston family. You brought in me a new sense of love for Alpha, from Texas A&M to St. Thomas to University of Houston. Thank you for keeping Alpha burning deep within my heart. If I forgot anyone, please do forgive me. I do fear Manny, removing me from the stage. Speaking of Manny, I was watching the Pro Football Hall of Fame speeches a few weeks ago, and I saw these big guys crying, so I promised I would not be like them. But when I think of the impact that Manny has had on my life and Alpha has had, it's been very, very profound for me. I met Manny right after 9/11. I was a young college student at FIU, and we didn't have an Alpha chapter. We didn't really have a national impact, and we wanted one. So believe it or not, before Google went public, still Googled back in '01. My IT professor had said it. So we found American Association of Hispanic CPAs, and we saw that they had a convention in Vegas. 6 college kids, a free chance to go to Vegas? Yeah, we were on it. So we called up Manny, though, and said, hey, Manny, we want an Alpha chapter, and we want to meet you. Anybody that knows Manny, he loves early morning meetings. I don't like early morning meetings. But he wanted to meet us at 6 a.m. At 6 a.m., all 6 of us, myself and my other 5 co-founders, were there in a suit and ready to meet him. And he was as engaged and willing to work with us. I was amazed. Here's 6 21, 20-year-old kids looking for an opportunity, and he gave it to us. Along the way, I served on the national board, so I went from a student to becoming Manny's boss. That was interesting, because Manny was always like a father figure to me. And I did challenge him like I did challenge my own dad. But Manny stayed with me, and he stayed patient. And even though I'm running over and I know he's going to be mad at me later, kids tend to do that to their parents. But Manny, I love you, and I really appreciate everything you did for me. Thank you. All right, almost done. Stretch run. Tonight, you heard Bob Moritz and a couple of other individuals talk about taking somebody with you, right? So I want to share with you a quick story. My grandfather passed away 10 years ago to this day. And his journey was probably similar to many of your grandparents here tonight. He sacrificed everything in his home country to come here with nothing, to give me this opportunity. When he passed, there were hundreds of people at his funeral from all walks of life, from a senator to the janitor that I just met in the hospital. And as the eldest grandson, I was there trying to help get things organized. And this one old man kept coming up to me and kept saying, I want to talk to you. I want to share a story with you. And he said, I want to tell you about the impact your grandfather had on my life. I was like, okay. And he bought me and didn't have a way out. My grandfather had some connections that enabled him to come to America. And as he was leaving, he told his best friend, he said, have faith in God, have trust in our friendship, and believe with all hope that it will work out, and it will be, and he won't forget. So he moves to Chicago, he starts working, starts saving every penny, and he helps this young man, his best friend, come to Chicago. And again, he told him, have trust in God, have faith in our friendship, have faith and hold out hope in yourself that you can do it. And this progressed over the number of years before the old man eventually became a retired judge in Chicago. And he said to me, what your grandfather did for me was give me the courage that I could believe that I could do anything that I wanted. And he pulled me through. Look, I stand here in front of you not because I wanted this award, because many someones gave me something and brought me along. And I hope to continue doing that, and I pray that each and every one of you continue to do that. I ask you to continue to work with me and all the others to help elevate us, as Bob Moritz says, to reach up and pull up. Buenas noches. Thank you for your time.